Hi there, Dr. Gary here on the road. We sell dental practices nationwide. We are dental practice brokers. I was a dentist for 25 years and doing this now brokerage for 14 years. Today's topic is seller shocked, practice sold, dental practice sold on the first day of on the market. Buyers perplexed. What's next? So we'll get into what happened here. As you know, we now have 10 employees. We're in 22 states and working every day except Christmas and Easter, so call us. We're available 8 a.m. till 9 p.m. East Coast time. And our phone number is 201-663-0935. And our website is dentalpracticeguide.com. Or you can get us on nationwide dentalpracticebrokers.com. Remember, everything you're hearing today is for entertainment purposes. It's not legal or business advice. Also, if you're thinking about selling to a DSO, call us because we work with them all the time. There's been a lot of consolidation changes. We keep up with those changes, and they often pay our commission, so there's no commission to you most of the time. Also, when you work with us, I'll get your legal fees reimbursed upon successful closing. So call us. We've done that a number of times, and we'll get it together for you. All right. Now, so what happens here? So the seller puts it on the market for top dollar, 86% of gross, somewhere around there. Had the first showing. First time people were in there. At first, the second buyer, third buyer says, I want it. Paid full price, 86% of gross. Buyer was pre-approved. Buyer gave us a letter of intent. Buyer was so motivated, they wanted a letter of intent before they came, and they wanted to put down a small refundable, let's call it processing fee deposit. So we gave them all the instructions. Sure enough, there was second and third person in. They saw it. They liked it. Now, this is one of the best buyers. A buyer that has been was working towards buying a practice and wasn't their fault. The deal fell apart. Happens all the time. But, when you like something and you're interested and you're just starting, it's 50-50 that you're going to get it together, that the deal's going to go through before you send the letter of intent. So they were disappointed, but that's your best buyer. A buyer that was prepped, signed a non-disclosure, had the financing in place, ready to go. And disappointed because I think the seller changed their mind, because sellers get like that. And that's what happened. But also simultaneously, the seller never thought it would sell on the first day, and they were like shocked. They didn't know how to react. They went cold. In other words, I couldn't reach them. For 48 hours, there was no contact on the seller. I mean, how could that be? No contact, you think they should be excited, but no contact. Seller just dropped out of sight, and I didn't know what to make of it. So the buyer, hold on now. The buyer's starting to panic because you're approaching the end of 48 hours. The buyer's trying to figure out, what's going on here. Okay, so bear with me, I'm backing up, team. The buyer's trying to figure out what's going on. Buyer's starting to get a little nervous because 48 hours had passed, no contact from the seller. I think what happened is the seller was just shocked and wasn't prepared. All of a sudden, your life is changing. It's the practice you worked out all your life, and it's coming to an end. Suddenly. A happy end, and you're getting top dollar for it. But sometimes you're not ready for that. You figured you'd ease into it, see some of the favorite patients you want, fit them in. Hey, you get a hot buyer that's paying 86% of gross that wants to move on it right away. That's it. There's no time for second guessing. Now, what happens sometimes, which is a huge error, some of the sellers think, well, if I got top dollar, I can get more. And my response to that is no. You just happen to find a motivated buyer who was ready at the time. We can't play games and ask for more than the asking price we put down. Buyer came in and put full asking price, 86% of gross. That's it. You don't screw around. Now, what's going to happen to the other 2-3 buyers that I think want it also? Well, this buyer put it down a letter of intent, a non-binding letter of intent. It's a goodwill type thing. They want it, okay? So what we do in those circumstances, we keep the buyers, the other buyers, in second position. I explain to them they're giving full price. So there's not a lot of negotiation. And this seller has instructed us, I don't want bidding war. That is, if somebody comes in and pays it, I don't want to go back to another buyer and say, oh, you pay 10, 15, 20. That generally doesn't work. It just doesn't work that way. Because that second buyer that really wants it, they offer more and then they change their mind, then it just doesn't work out. We stick with the first buyer, but we let the second buyer know. We say, hey, listen, you're in second position. If anything happens to the first buyer, you'll be there. And if there was a third buyer, we'll put them in third position. And but we're not shopping the deal because it got full price. That's it. You got full price. There's nothing more to talk about. This is a nice buyer. The buyer was already pre-approved before. The buyer had gone through another deal. It didn't work out. So you have a very motivated buyer. As far as the seller, you got to let it go. Just let it go. And if it happened too fast and you weren't ready for it, I understand what you're saying, but that's the way it is. It did happen fast because it's a great practice, a specialty type practice. You had a high price on it. You got your high price. Don't start thinking, oh, maybe I can get more. No. This buyer is ready, and obviously I, talked to the buyer, said you got to move on. If you like it, just move on it. And that's what the buyer did. They just moved on it. They liked it. They moved on it. That's a deal. The other people will wait. They can look at other practices. We'll keep them posted what's going on. 50-50 chance that somebody's going to buy it before they look at it. When they put letter of intent, 70% chance it's going through. They get full bank approval through underwriting, 80% chance it's going through. Contracts are finished and now signed. You got 85, 90%. And then you're moving towards closing is set up. You got a 95% that deal's going through. We always leave a small percentage because you never know what happened. The building can get burned down. The seller gets cold feet. The buyer gets cold feet. Something happened with the financing. Anything can happen. So you always leave about 5% on the table that may not go through. And you keep your other buyers informed. Hey, it's not over. It is not over. When we're 5 minutes after the closing, I'll let you know. Call me. And maybe it'll be over, maybe it won't, but you have to be prepared. I've had deals where the buyer walked out to go take a look at the office. Said, want another look at the office. We're at the closing table. Monies are transferred from the bank in the attorney's account, ready to be dispersed. And this guy, oh, this idiot, I still remember this story. He goes to see the office and heads south. He went south. He just kept going, never came back. Because somebody told him, oh, we think it's a Medicaid office. It's just an idiot, lost at last minute. It never worked with that guy again. Never. That did happen. So you have to leave a little bit on the table if something may happen. All right? We're looking good, team. Hit the subscribe button if you want to hear more. We got a bunch of them coming out. Remember, January 5th, 2025, we got a cruise going out. And then I think we got another cruise in January 26th. I think we're going to do it every year. Seminar cruise. We're just going to have a blast. Have professionals there. Get CE credit. Check it out. Thank you. Bye.